Hey guys. So I never really do videos, but I think that this is something I wanted to try because I really like listening to different podcasts or watching different, I guess they're drama channels, but they talk about different topics. And so I think this is a good time to just turn on the camera and just kind of speak my mind. There's been things that happened in social media probably within the past like month or two that have been a little bit triggering. And I just figured, you know what, let's talk about it. And they're kind of centered around toxic relationships. And I know when you hear that term, you probably think of like an abusive boyfriend or just a really bad, like, boyfriend girlfriend situation. But toxic relationships can be friendships, relationships with a significant other, and even family. So I think that this is a really good conversation to have. And, I would just like to talk about maybe some of my experiences, and maybe some of you don't know some of the people around you are kind of not the best for you and your space. And maybe some of my experiences could kind of help you see that. I am not a therapist, but, you know, if you can relate to some situations or certain character traits in people that I'm going to talk about, then, just something to think about. But yeah, I definitely want to talk about toxic friendships. And sometimes those can be really hard. And sometimes your toxic friendships can be a little harder to deal with than like your toxic relationships. Just because friendships have kind of maybe lasted a little bit longer than that toxic boyfriend or girlfriend that you dated. And sometimes those are a little bit easier to learn from. But I've had some pretty toxic friends in my past. And I call them toxic because, they just weren't good for me. And they weren't good for the type of person that I am and the person that I've become so far. And some of the things that kind of like can show you that someone isn't like the best person, or one of the things that showed me that somebody wasn't, the best friend for me and was, and what made it toxic was, I've had a couple of people, and specifically I'm going to talk about girls. This isn't going to be about male friends. This is going to be about friends that are female. And one of the things that really, kind of puts a strain on a friendship is insecurity. I don't know anybody that's not insecure. We all kind of have that, but it's kind of how you deal with it. And for me, the people that were toxic in my life that, showed me their insecurities, they were always in competition. And nothing about a friend, especially a best friend or a very close friend, you should never be in competition with each other. And what I mean by that is, for instance, right now, I have my hair straight. Yeah, this is all me. And, it could be a friend that never straightens their hair and all of a sudden they do it. And, or, because when I say competition, they're always trying to one up you. They copy you. And, it sounds so juvenile. It sounds so junior high, but it is a real thing. And it happens a lot more than you think. And because sometimes that person, maybe they don't know who they are as a person, so they copy you because maybe they like the things that you do, and that's fine. But a lot of times that insecure person, they don't like to give credit when it's due. If you see me do something that you like, tell me. Or, don't pretend that you thought of something when you actually didn't, because that happens a lot. Believe me, though, for my creative people out there that are creatives, I like to call us creatives, we like get off to just being creative and like, taking a Kim Kardashian look but making it my own, or making just things our own, period, or DIY anything. You know, we're just, our mind is consistently going, not in a more analytical way, but just in a more creative, like, you know, artistic way. You know, we put a lot of thought into our outfit or our hair or our craft. And, you know, for someone to just come along and just be like, oh, I'm gonna copy you and just do that, like, to me, that's a very insecure person, because then they're not gonna give you the credit. They're not gonna acknowledge you and be like, you know what, I got inspired by this person to do this. So, but they're gonna come on and be like, oh, this is just something that I love to do. You'll hear that a lot, especially with these influencers. They're probably gonna never give anybody where they really got the idea from. They're probably never gonna tell you. But, you know, an insecure friend can always be in competition with you. They want to one-up you. They want to, if you do something, anything you can do, I can do better. When in fact, you're just trying to sit up here and be great and just do your thing. And here they come, you know, it's like they have this secret competition with you, and then they get mad because you might be winning. You know, my experiences with this run deep, sis. I could go on and on about this subject. Anybody that knows me, y'all know. But, you know,